So I have a question. Where do you think the Nets are gonna rank when the season comes to the end? Do you think they're even gonna make the finals? Do you think they're gonna be at the bottom of the pack? What are your thoughts on this strong Nets team?
Okay, so uh, Dinwiddie's out for the rest of the season, I imagine. I think that Sean Marks and ownership and coaching staff aren't gonna play him, even if he is, ready to play by the end of the season. Because I don't think they need to. They have Kyrie Irving, right? They have Karis LeVert, who now slots into that starting role instead of playing off the bench. So I think I'm still very confident in the amount of firepower they have. But now it's the last game, I think they rested both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
I forgot who it was against, but they went to OT and they lost. But that's okay. They're missing their three best players. It's gonna be all about keeping Kyrie healthy. Now you don't have any backup for Kyrie. You don't have a guy who can take on his role easily anywhere on the roster. So it's about keeping your stars healthy. You have a star, both of them who are now in danger of injuries, right? One just tore his Achilles the year before. And then one has had multiple injuries over his career. So it's going to be all about keeping them healthy. So when it comes to playoff rankings, seedings, I do see them in the top 3 seed, although I do think they're going to rest a lot. They're not going to be like Milwaukee, who I think Giannis is going to play all 72 games if possible. And they did just lose to the Knicks, but I think that's just a fluke. I do see them in the top 3 seed. 4 if they're really, really taking it easy. But yeah, I still think they're going to be top seed. I don't think they're going to be number 1. And if they remain healthy throughout the playoffs, I don't see how they can't come out of the East. Right now, there's no team in the East with enough firepower, with enough star power to keep up with a player like KD and Kyrie at the same time. We saw how dangerous they were. We talked about this in the other pod, but they are a dangerous duo, and it's both great shot makers, right? You can give them the best defense your team can offer, and they're still going to make the shot. So, yeah, I don't see them, if they remain healthy, I don't see how they can't come out of the East. I don't think they can be outcoached with the great coaching staff they have right now. There's some parts of the series in the East last year where you say, oh, Coach Bud, outcoached by Spoelstra, right? Who's not adaptable, but isn't as adaptable as these other coaches. I don't see that being an issue with the Nets. So yeah, I see them coming out of the East in the playoffs and a top 3 seed, but definitely not number 1.
Okay. For me, I agree with a lot of your points. I see them coming out as top 3. I think it's going to be tough because, as you said, not a lot of teams from the East have enough star power to slow down Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who are like some very good superstars. Kevin Durant is already showing flashes of his old form. He's already doing pull-up threes. The game against Boston Celtics, he took over the third quarter. He's showing I just tore my Achilles, but I'm back to almost top 5, almost top 10 in the league. So it's very amazing to see. I think they're out of all the teams, they're probably going to be around second or third. The only teams I would compare to them in the East is Miami, Boston Celtics, and the Bucks/76ers. That's the only, if the Nets don't make it out of the East, I think one of those teams will make it out of the East, aka the Miami Heat. But I still see them coming out of the East. And yeah, just a fire duo. I like what I'm seeing from them, and I think it's going to continue to go up from here.
Do you think KD is an MVP candidate?
No.
Why not?
I love KD. I won't say MVP candidate. If he has to go off on a crazy streak to be an MVP candidate. He's a great player. I know you agree, like 6'9", almost 7 foot with point guard handles, skills, but we'll still have to take some time for that. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'd agree with that as well, because I don't think he's going to be playing all 72 games, right? He's going to be missing at least 10 games during the season, so that's definitely going to hurt his MVP chances.
hmm
And yeah, the Nets, top 3 seed, I think, obviously. And it's going to be interesting because you have a team that that when they're all together, I think they fit really well. But if you start, actually, let me rephrase that. They were missing both of their players in that last game, and I keep forgetting who it was against.
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. Okay, yeah. Now, granted, Grizzlies had Ja Morant, who was injured that game. After 12 minutes of play, he sprained his ankle. Thankfully, I thought that was going to be like some ACL or MCL tear or something like that.
That would have been
scary.
Yeah.
He fell really weird, and especially with like a high flyer like him, that's not uncommon. Derrick Rose. So
Exactly.
yeah, without them, they were able to take the Grizzlies to OT, and Karis LeVert looked really good. Joe Harris looked really good. So I'm very confident in the depth they have and their ability to play even without their 2 stars, right? They're all very confident guys. Everybody from top to bottom of the roster are confident guys who are confident in their skills and their playing style and the way they hold themselves, right? That's the, I guess, narrative or the culture Brooklyn has cultivated in the past couple of years, because they've made the playoffs somehow in the past 2 years. With rosters that you'd look at and say, how on earth did they make the playoffs? So it's a very tough mentality team, and they're going to go really far. They're going to go really far if they keep this up.